Well, hello again, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this segment of the Pick 3. We have tons to get to in this edition, so let's dive right in. And I want to start with the undercover investigation by PETA in trainer Steve Asmussen's barn. PETA produced about a 10-minute video. It's out on YouTube right now. It's got thousands of views. It's created tons of buzz both on and off the track. If you have not yet seen that video, I will put the link to it in the description box. But basically, there was an undercover investigator with a camera working for PETA, following the assistant trainer Scott Blasi around, and basically highlighted all the mistreatment of the thoroughbreds at the racetrack. I thought the video was pretty biased. I mean, I know there's two sides to every story, but this video and this story as a whole definitely fuels the fire for those who support PETA. Now, this group usually makes a name for themselves around this time of year anyway. They've been known to hold protests on the big racing days, especially the Triple Crown races. But this is just terrible timing for the sport of horse racing as we gear up for the Derby and the Preakness and, of course, the Belmont. And also, this is awful for trainer Steve Asmussen. Here is a guy who was on the brink of being voted into the Hall of Fame. This certainly hurts his chances of getting in. And we will see when he responds. I'm sure he's talking with his attorneys and formulating a game plan, but we have yet to hear from Asmussen or his team regarding this video produced by PETA. It is disturbing, but again, there's two sides to every story. Now, I'm only a fan of horse racing. I've never been on the backstretch. I've never been in the barns to be around these thoroughbreds, but I've been to the track so many times, and I genuinely love the horses. I mean, there might be a horse I bet against in a race, and yeah, and if it beats me, I might be a little bit upset about it. But I genuinely love these horses. I remember being at Saratoga this past summer when the beloved Saginaw was euthanized on the track, and just all the energy was sucked out of Saratoga that day. I mean, I think it was early on in the card, may have been the second or third race of the day, and there were still several more races left to be run that day, but it was just quiet around the track. So horse racing fans, horse racing trainers and owners, they love these horses. PETA is putting out this video to spin it their own way, but there is two sides to every single story. So we shouldn't jump to conclusions with this just yet. We have to get all the facts straight. Also want to say I was on Twitter, and for those of you who are on Twitter, search the hashtag #FullStoryPETA. Tons of people that I follow in the horse racing community were putting up photos with them in the barns with horses, whether they were hugging them or kissing them. It was great to see that as well. And this was, of course, a response to that video that PETA produced. So that was certainly great to see. And we will see what happens with trainer Steve Asmussen and his assistant Scott Blasi from here. And again, I'll put that link to the video in the description box so you can check it out. But obviously, this comes at a bad time for horse racing. All right, also want to talk about the pricing for Belmont Stakes Day. NYRA, we know about this new, brand spanking new schedule that they have for Belmont Stakes Day with all the graded stakes and all this purse money involved. But it took some time for them to release the pricing for Belmont Stakes Day, and I have to say I am surprised for the better. I think this is a great deal to keep it pretty low. Grandstand admission is only $10. They did increase the clubhouse admission from $20 to $30, but it's only going to cost you $10 to get on the grounds at Belmont Stakes Day. So that is certainly great to see. I know that it's a lot more than that at both the Derby and the Preakness. They even reduced some of the ticket pricing for the second level on the grandstand. So that is good to see as well. I think it's $95 for a seat on the second level of the grandstand. And they also didn't make some improvements. They have a trophy room. They have a champagne room where you can pay a couple $100s and have gourmet food and your own private betting windows and stuff like that. So if you want to do that, you certainly can as well. But the fact that grandstand admission remains $10 is a big plus for me. And I also wanted to quickly preview the Sunland Derby this weekend. The Kentucky Derby prep race on the card this weekend. 50 points will go towards the winner of this race. Midnight Hawk and Commissioner will be the top two in the betting, but I'm going to go a different way in here, and I'm going to go with Global Strike, a Todd Pletcher trained horse who just broke his maiden last time out. So this is a jump up for him and company. But I don't think this race is all that deep, and a lot of money will be going towards Midnight Hawk and Commissioner. So I will take Global Strike and Javier Castellano to win the Sunland Derby. I will put Midnight Hawk second, and then Commissioner third to round out my trifecta. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the Pick 3. Check out that video produced by PETA, and I'll see you again soon on the Pick 3.